Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Hello there, everybody. It's Joe here, and welcome back to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. We are here at Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix, taking turn 1 in a way that you just should not take it whatsoever. If you haven't seen the last installment, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. But we arrive at Montreal, the French-Canadian region of Canada, and this man-made island is the host for this Grand Prix. So far, it's been a bit of a mixed bag of a season, but we are making good strides forward with our upgrade program. And to be fair, Monaco could have been solid points, but somebody, not naming names, Joe, threw it all away. But we're in Q1 now for Canada. Spain was a race to forget. We just didn't have the pace, and we made a couple of mistakes during the race. But I'm here in Canada now to try and rectify those mistakes and get some points on the board. P12, that'll do, donkey. That'll do for Q1. Unfortunately, we do lose our teammate, and we lose Antonelli again. I don't know why he keeps dropping out of Q1. Where's your pace, Kimmy? You're a Mercedes driver. Act like one. Anyway, into Q2, and those clouds are starting to look a little bit menacing, so definitely some weather on the way in this qualifying session. But we're looking good for us, our first lap of Q2. Heading into the chicane. Don't hit the wall of champions. And you know what? This is looking like a good lap.
It's a P15.
And it is a good lap. In fact, it's a very good lap, because that's allowed us to finish in the top 3 of Q2. We're still a little way off, but we're getting there. We're getting there. The improvements on the car are finally starting to show. As we now go into Q3, the rain has started, which means the earlier we get the lap in, the better, because the rain is only going to get heavier from here. Heading into the chicane. How are we feeling? What is the lap like? It doesn't feel too bad, but actually it wasn't great, and we are P9 at the moment, and we just weren't able to improve. So it is going to be P10 for the Canadian Grand Prix, with Yuki Tsunoda starting on pole.
Here in Montreal, Lights Out is quickly approaching on this artificial island originally built for the World Fair in 1967. Now it's used for a World's Fair of a different kind, ever since Formula One first arrived here. We're back in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Russell, Oscar Piastri and Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Bortoleto and Tim Tramnitz, Ocon, Sainz and Sir Lewis Hamilton, Doohan, Norris, Lawson, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Ollie Behrman, Stroll, Gasly, Hadjar and Zane Maloney rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me for this afternoon's commentary, Naomi Schiff. Good afternoon, Gnomes. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
Well, they're certainly in a great position.
35 laps ahead of us here in this Canadian Grand Prix. We're starting 10th on the grid. Where can we finish? We are underway, and it's a decent start. Bortoletto's got away well. Alonso trying to defend and failing miserably. as we're putting a nose up the inside, but we're blocked in by Bortoleto and Leclerc, trying to go around the outside now. Alonso on my right, side by side, and Alonso finding the momentum to get through and move himself up into 9th. We're dropping down into P10, and we are for now in P10 and trying to get back past Fernando Alonso. No way through there, so we're going to have to reshape ourselves and maybe have a go a bit later on in the lap. Here comes Esteban Ocon having a look, but I'm not having that. Not letting that one happen. No siree. As we now try and get closer to Fernando Alonso. He is right up the chuff of Gabriel Bortoleto, and they're all backing up into the hairpin, and I'm fancying a cheeky double overtake, which we nearly pull off, but Bortoleto comes back and we make contact with his right rear wheel, but we're still in his slipstream. We're having a look to the inside. Bortoleto covers. Now we go to the outside, and it's P8 for us. We get the move done just by simply outbraking the Sauber. And now we're catching up with the pack ahead. Charles Leclerc and George Russell, who are about to go side by side. Nico Hülkenberg in 5th is keeping things just a little bit held up here. Russell and Leclerc side by side now, going down the straight. Leclerc just edges ahead. Russell is not ahead. He's now having to cover from me. He's gone to the outside, and I'm switching to the inside to have a go at Leclerc, who goes across the chicane and keeps the place. Naughty, naughty, but we did kind of force him off. And now here comes Russell down my left. Is Russell going to make that work? No, he doesn't. Russell having to back out there as we hold on to the position, and we still try and get after Charles Leclerc. Hülkenberg has disappeared a little bit up the road thanks to this battle, but we're still having another go at Charles Leclerc down the straight, using overtake, DRS and everything else we have at our disposal, and sending it down the inside for a beautiful textbook manoeuvre. Mwah, chef's kiss. Here's a look at it. Just sticking it down the inside of the Ferrari, and Leclerc had little to no chance to defend that one. As we now move up into P6, Hülkenberg is next down the road, and he's about half a second, 0.8 of a second down the road. Charles Leclerc is going to come back at me, and Leclerc has successfully come back at me and retaken P6. I'm dropping into P7, and I'm trying to get back with Leclerc and not lose the place, because otherwise if we spend more time fighting him, we're not going to have a chance to get after Hülkenberg, and I believe we're quicker. And I also believe that we're slightly quicker than the Ferrari here, so I think we've got a good chance of some good points here. Down the inside of Charles Leclerc into the chicane, and this time he doesn't jump the chicane, we don't force him off, and we get past cleanly. Right, now we've got the move done on Leclerc, we can start setting after Hülkenberg again, and hopefully we don't re-lose the place to Leclerc. And we're now all over the back of the German driver in the Sauber. Down the back straight here at Montreal. Can we get past Hülkenberg here? I'm having a look, but there's no way through. And in fact, Hülkenberg makes that one easy by pitting in. So Hülkenberg into the pits. But I'm staying out. I'm going long on this hard tyre. And I mean we're going long. As in we're going to try and get to lap 21 and try and pull off a one-stopper. Most of the pack, I know, are doing a 2, apart from Max Verstappen, of course, who will be doing a one-stop with us. At least, that's the strategy I believe Max Verstappen will be on. Lap 15, and we've caught Piastri somehow. I've no idea how we've done that. I've just been running my own pace for the last few laps, and we've really caught up with Piastri, so he must be struggling with his tyres, or at the very least struggling with them a bit more than what we are, because that McLaren should be faster than us, but actually we're pretty much on their pace here. So this is a very good sign for our upgrade progress. But like I said, I feel like this could just be a circuit specific thing where we look quite strong round here. We're now having a look at Oscar Piastri for P3. We're going to go down the inside of Piastri, and we're going to make that one stick, as I believe George Russell was just retired from the race, so that's unlucky for him. But we've got past Oscar Piastri now. and moved ourselves into P3. Like I said, I do wonder if this is just circuit specific or if we are looking genuinely quite strong from the upgrade. Meanwhile, Verstappen is now pitted, and I'm trying to hold him back and ruin his day a little bit. But Verstappen, well, when Max Verstappen wants through, there's not a lot you can do. And Verstappen retaking the position from us. But it's okay, because we're going to use him to sort of tow us along for the next lap before we even think about making our pit stop. Tsunoda now makes his, so both Red Bulls have been in. We've been staying out, and of course, we have made these tyres last really well. And now I'm hoping we can just take a set of mediums right to the end of the race. Into the pits we come. It's looking very strong for us at the moment. And with certain members of the pack two-stopping or on older tyres, we should have an advantage here. But we've had a problem in the pits with one of the tyres, which doesn't help us. We've lost time that we shouldn't have lost, and that could put us behind Charles Leclerc, and it does. We should have been in front of Leclerc and Piastri, but the time lost in the pits with the sticky wheel. Oh, this game doesn't like making anything easy for us, does it? But we've now caught them on lap 23 out of 35, and the first thing we're going to do is have a look at Charles Leclerc down this long straight. Unfortunately, he's going to have DRS too, so it's going to be quite easy for him to defend us. He's attacking Piastri now. He's got ahead of Piastri, and Oscar Piastri's going to be backed up a little bit. I've now got some DRS. Maybe we can have a go at Piastri into turn 1. How late dare I brake? There's your answer. Side by side with Piastri round turn 1, and we've got the better exit, better traction, and the position. Moving into what was P6 now, but is effectively P4, and we're chasing down Charles Leclerc for a potential podium finish here in this Canadian Grand Prix. Having a look there, but no way through. And I don't want to just take a half-hearted look and get the position. I want to be able to take the position and get down the road a little bit to protect the position. Charles Leclerc sitting there at the moment, just sitting pretty, doing his own race. And at the end of lap 26, we're still behind him. But Leclerc doing everything he can to cover. We're going to go down the inside of Charles Leclerc, however. We managed to dummy him to the outside. That worked nicely, and we took the inside. Up into P3 we go, and that is essentially a podium position. But Leclerc's coming back at me here. I'm going to give him space on the inside. Leclerc's gone through on the left. He has made his way back up into P3, but I might be able to take the position. No, I've hit the curve wrong and we've crashed! And we are out of the Canadian Grand Prix from chasing a podium! No!
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
And you can really tell that they're taking this one step at a time, one race at a time, and getting the points on the board when it matters. That's what it's going to take, consistency and the bigger picture.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. One of the all-time greats celebrates yet again. It's another podium, it's another top step for Max Verstappen. Well, that was certainly an exciting
unbelievable.
weekend of
Just
Formula One.
unbelievable.
Be sure to join us for more
Sat on the
exciting Formula One
verge of a
action
podium
very soon.
and yeah, just a simple mistake. Wheel on the curb, putting the foot down, and that was always going to slide out and hit the wall. But we're out of the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a win for Verstappen. Tsunoda gets second, Leclerc third, Piastri and Hamilton fourth and fifth, with Norris, Alonso, Sainz, Antonelli, good recovery from him, and Bortoletto scoring the final points. Maloney in 11th. He was so close to scoring a point for us in the end, but it just was not meant to be. Verstappen's leading the championship, 40 points. I don't think anyone's getting anywhere near him in the championship. He is just on another level with his form at the moment. We've dropped down. Oh, what could have been? What could have been? But it is what it is. Mistakes are sometimes made, and we are currently 10th in the Constructors. We really could have jumped up there. We could have been, if we'd have got 4th, we would have been ahead of Aston. So what can you do? Thank you for watching anyway. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until the next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Enjoy the rest of your day.